Hello, hello everyone. Can I do it without a mic, maybe? Sure. Because then I feel more free. And actually the song was quite appealing about not having the sleep. Because I sort of was very nervous for this day. And of course, like you could imagine, some nightmares occurred about me sort of doing the speech about ending, and then the room kept completely quiet, like this. So, if you maybe can help me overcome my own fears by allowing me to have this moment of you being very quiet, and of course social media is very important. Actually, that I'm here right now is just a thing to put on my social media, of course. So I would like to start with the first slide, which actually is the last slide, which says the end. Maybe I sort of see like here. And then I'm gonna fake like I did my talk. And I said, so, this is the last slide. And then I film myself. And I, no, wait. And then I would like you all to do crickets. So maybe we could try this. If you all do crickets, like when somebody does a joke that's not a good joke, then it's cree, 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 cree. So maybe everybody tries cree, cree, cree. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I'm gonna film that. And then I'm over my fears, hopefully. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Who's that? Oh, that's you, yeah. Maybe try to imitate that because that's the one I was looking for. Can we do it again? Maybe only that one is enough. Yeah. So I'm filming now. So that is the end of my speech. And thank you. Now, please stop. Thank you. And now maybe because I maybe don't want to sort of post this nightmare. Maybe you could also bring the house down. So I said this, so this is the end of my speech, and you go berserks. You go like, we want more, screaming like it's the Beatles. Ah! Like you've seen the best thing in your life. I don't know, Justin Bieber, or I don't know what you're into. What are you into? You're into twerking, I know. But just go crazy. Just go crazy, like you said. Ah! So I'm gonna film that. So that's the end of my speech. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Goodbye. No, I really thought about sort of leaving it at this, because I thought it would be a good idea. So just at the end, and it's about the end, and just saying, okay, this is it. This is my talk. This, of course, is my ulterior motive to be here. I don't know shit about endings. I know this book has an ending. But probably I'm also maybe not at the right place, because who here feels creative? Or is a creative? Well, okay. So I'm sort of trying to sell ice cream or ice to Eskimos. Yeah. Because this book is about creativity, or how to sort of find your leeway while looking for new stuff, new things. But on the other hand, the main target audience of this book was me. So like any self-help book is sort of for the writer itself. So it's telling myself how to keep an open mind while in the process of creation. Because it's very easy to sort of also get into this funnel and get sort of too in love with your own ideas and to not dare to step out of your idea which you sort of made yourself, which is sort of crazy, because you think, yeah, the rules of my idea is this and that. And it came from that I found out that I got a lot of ideas which didn't fit the idea I was working on. And I got frustrated about that. Sort of, yeah, this doesn't fit. But actually, now, I sort of try, okay, this doesn't fit. Yeah! Let's try to stick it on and see whether it works or not. The title of the book is Doe eens gek, which sort of translates to fuck it, why not, I think. Something like that. Or something in that range. A small detour, because I sort of wrote this book, which is called Doe eens gek, people think I'm up for everything. So they think, he's crazy, he always says, fuck it, why not? So let's call him if we have something stupid. So that also happens a lot, actually. And the last time that happened was when Groep 8 sort of had their eindfeest, had their ending party. Groep 8, people of 12 years old. And somebody was to host the Ora Loca. I don't know whether anyone, you probably know what that means, eh? You know what that means. That actually it means that in the party there's 1 hour where everybody sort of goes bonkers, but they're helped by handing out small crazy hats or noses or hula hoops, I don't know, everything. And then also a sort of crazy clown comes in. But the crazy clown was sick. So who are you gonna call? I thought, fuck it, why not? And it actually was a bit of a mistake. So I sort of dressed up all yellow. I thought yellow is my color. Sort of dressed up all yellow, and I blew up some balloons, sort of, and I pasted them on my head with tape. So I had a big balloon head, and I was supposed to hand out the hats and stuff, and I got this small bag, and there were only those lights. You click it, and then it shines a light. You can bracelets. Who? Glow sticks. Glow sticks. Yeah. But there were too little. So for all the class, I came in with a few glow sticks with the balloons on my head. And then the DJ started, yeah, ik wil seks met die kale. And all the 12-year-old girls beside me, and then with balloons on my head, trying to get the party started, which sort of didn't happen. And I kept on dancing and stepped on toes of the little girls and guys. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I wasn't gonna tell, of course. And then the parents were sort of standing on the side, sort of drinking champagne, looking at me weird. So, and I was sweating, of course, of the balloons, and the balloons started falling off, and sort of it was a very nice experience. Sort of very similar, but also very different from an experience I had 3 weeks before that moment, which was when I had a training at the Nieuwe Instituut, a 3-day training, and I was hosting the event as being part of the Mona Lisa's art collective. And at the grand finale of that training, I was also running around acting stupid, but masked, naked in a sort of tutu, Toch? Sort of tuk-tuk thing. There's one of the participants here. But at that moment, I sort of had an epiphany, running around naked on the last day of that training, which was jam-packed with every kind of activities, dancing, painting, philosophy, everything. So running around naked in a tutu with a mask, then I felt sort of in tune with the universe. Again, sweating like hell, but sort of feeling, wow, this is the moment in time and space where I need to be. Sort of an endless space, time continuum I felt a part of. And so that was quite different. But let me get back to ending. The last line of my book is start anywhere, which is a John Cage quote, which I stole. Like most of the things in the book are, of course, ripped off from other people. And the book is divided into 11 chapters, and the last chapter is about that moment where you think, okay, I've had enough. And it's also, when you are creative, the thing to not be afraid to sort of end stuff you're doing and maybe throw it all out and say, well, I'm going to start all over again. And it's also a question of sort of really sort of keeping in touch with your feeling, your gut feeling, sort of. And actually, your gut is probably more clever than your brain is, because your brain can come up with the greatest excuses why to pursue the thing and why not to stop. And your gut already knows, I don't want this, I don't want this, away. So it's about sort of really listening to your gut feelings and being honest in that sense towards your own creativity. Again, so that's the ending of the book, but also this theme of ending actually got me very confused. I really tried to be clever about the theme, the end. But it turns out I'm not so very clever. Every time I thought, well, now I have it, I'm gonna sort of declare the end of endings. I'm gonna sort of say, well, the end of eras, because we sort of, especially speakers, have the tendency to say, it's the end of this and this, and the end of... So, but every time I started talking to friends about my idea I had at that moment, then they got me cornered within seconds. So I was onder de tafel geluld binnen no time. But then I thought, well, maybe that whole blurriness, that lines aren't very hard, is also a theme, that there is no real beginning or ending except in stories. Because in stories you can say, okay, once upon a time, and then they lived happily ever after, or... So maybe time isn't such a linear thing in something, in the reality, if there's something like reality. The older I get the idea that sort of time is sort of like a napkin, which you can fold, and there are points, and you can fold the points. So there are only moments and flashes, and then you fold it, and then you're 5 years old again. And then you fold it the other way, and then you become your own father, something like that. And so but actually, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. But maybe there is a thing like the possibility of ending things yourself. So you can break your own habits, or you can break your own conventions, or stop your own behavior, while the rest of the world keeps swirling and doing what they think they need to do, and sort of be aware of your own influence, your own ability, influence to your own behavior and sort of work from that. And so things can stop as soon as you say, okay, stop, no more. It's like a sort of continuous change always going on. This quote used to be hammered to the door of my previous design studio. And maybe at that time I didn't quite understand what it was saying, with change is the one thing you can count on, but sort of I believe that's sort of the case. Things will change and you yourself will continuously change. Rutger Hauer used to be one of my main arguments when I was at the video store, sort of looking at, okay, I don't know this movie, is it good? I don't know. But if Rutger Hauer was in it, I said, well, I'm renting this one. That was, of course, before his time of hobo with a shotgun, and even before Sin City, and so it was actually his, mainly his crap period. But it's also the thing I really admired about him, that he sort of dared to sort of not, sort of seemingly not give a damn. Sort of he just did his job and did the roles, and some of them was shit, and some of them was very good, and some of them I don't know what it is, but I've seen another video of Rutger Hauer again. But unfortunately, like Rowan Hazen, the band, Dutch band, we gaan allemaal, oh oh oh, allemaal met ons neus omhoog. Like also Rutger Hauer, sort of there is an absolute end, which is the end of your life. Or like Rutger Hauer said it in Blade Runner, all those moments will be lost like tears in the rain. He did it better, of course, and he had a dove flying away, then makes it a bit more dramatic. And there was something about the belt of Orion and ships attacked on fire, or the blah, but I skipped that. So I now give you all 2 minutes to think about the end. Or to leave. So I see you back in 2 minutes. So maybe close your eyes and think about it. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope you took the time to sort of think things through and maybe think about the ending of your own life. Gezellig. Or about the end of the world as we know it. Or maybe our place in the universe and the thing we are doing as humanity by the depletion of our resources. One of the heroes in my book, I have 11 heroes in my book, and some heroines, but actually I must excuse myself, I'm a male chauvinist asshole, so there's a lot of guys in there. But there are people who are not to be followed, so it's inimitatable people to imitate. And if you try to imitate somebody who isn't to be imitated, you have to come up with your own thing. One of those guys is Buckminster Fuller, Bucky, as he was called by his friends, who sort of already sort of foresaw the depletion of planet Earth, or spaceship Earth, as he called it, because in a sense it's just one spaceship we can't get off of. And he came up with sort of very new, innovative ways to sort of come up with new ways of transport and building housing. And he also made up a game which sort of folded out planet Earth, the world, in a sort of strange map where you sort of could connect everything in a new way. And he was convinced, as I am as well, that everything could be solved by 1984. He was right, of course. Alas, we were busy, we as a whole humanity, we were busy doing something else at that moment. But still, he was right. So, and now we are approaching the end of this talk, I mean. If somebody's up for an after party, you can join me at Euromast Park at 11:11 on the second field on the right-hand side if parkiet is in your back, where I've organized nothing. So, there is niets. Er is helemaal niets. So, I will be there, but don't expect anything because I organize nothing. But you're free to join me if you like. And that's inspired by chapter 6 of my book, which is about doing nothing and the importance of doing nothing and sort of letting things sort of cool down and fall to place or not, but just sort of also plan your doing nothing, which I did. So feel free to join me at 11:11. The weather is very good. So I don't have umbrellas, I have towels. I was expecting something different, but you can also sort of hide under the towels. So this brings me to the last slide. Things can be continued if you buy my book, of course. If you join my club, because I also have a club of people who like the book and sort of want to become part of this amazing movement which is going around the world, starting here. Or you can visit one of these websites, the site of the Mona Lisas, the site of Wilder Things, which is a sort of dress-up party we organize as Mona Lisas once in a while, or just look at my own website or at www.beterdingenandersdoen, where I try to earn a buck with a different way of thinking, which sometimes works and usually works a bit. So I would like to welcome you to the beginning of the rest of your life. Thank you.